Hello everybody and welcome back to Nerdy Miniatures. In today's video, we'll be talking you through how to tackle that big growing pile of grey shame known as your Warhammer minis. Now I know it can be daunting to start painting them, especially if you are new or unsure, but not to worry because today we're going to be breaking down the entire process step by step, covering 7 key stages using the Citadel colour system as our guide. We'll answer the who, what, why, where and how for each paint type, so you know exactly what you are doing. So grab our brushes and dive into the video. So, first things first, before you even pick up your brushes, you need to prime your figures. So who needs to prime? The answer is everyone. From absolute beginners to Golden Daemon winners, you need to use a primer. It is a non-negotiable first step for proper preparation before you begin. So what is a primer? Primer is a special undercoat that helps your subsequent paints stick to the model's plastic, metal or resin, ensuring the paint doesn't chip or flake off later. But why do we prime? We need a uniform surface for an even coat of paint for durability. It's essential for a long-lasting quality finish. Where do we need to apply primer? The answer is everywhere. Ensure the entire figure is covered. Feel free to go back in and apply multiple coats of this to make sure the figure is evenly covered. And now how do you prime? For us, we believe primer is best applied using a spray can or airbrush, using short, controlled bursts of paint from around 12 inches away from the figure. Shake the can well for about 2 minutes before, and avoid painting in very cold or humid weather. Weather conditions dependent, the primer should dry in about 15 minutes, but could take longer in certain environments. Now let's move on to step 2, base painting. Who needs to do this? Again, everybody needs to do this step. They are designed to be easy use, making them a core part of any paint kit for any painters. What is a base paint? Base paint are high pigmented acrylic paints that provide strong opaque coverage to lay down your main colour scheme quickly. Why do you need to base paint? To establish the foundational colour scheme for your army with a smooth matte finish that covers the primer effectively in 1 or 2 coats. Where do we need to use this? The main areas of the model, such as armour plates, large fabric sections, skin, or anything that you want to be a dominant colour. How do you apply this? Apply thin, even coats with a medium-sized brush or a small brush depending on the size of your figure. It is crucial to thin these paints with a tiny bit of water first or a paint medium to avoid obstructing the fine details under the paint that you are applying. Now we move on to step 3, which is shading or washing. Now for who needs to use this step? We'd recommend anybody who wants to add instant depth and definition without complex technique. In my opinion, shade paints are the game changer for speed and quality application. So what is a shade paint? Shades or washes are a very thin water paint designed to flow into recesses and crevices. Why do we shade? They create the illusion of shadow and depth, bringing the model to life by defining details and making them pop. Where would you apply shade paint? You can apply this all over the intended base coat area or precisely in the panel lines and recesses. But how do you apply it? Applying a generous amount over the base coat using a wash brush, allowing gravity to pull the paint into the recesses. Using a clean, damp brush to wick away any excess pooling on flat surfaces before it dries to prevent streaking. Now move on to step 4, which is contrast paints. Contrast paints are ideal for beginners or any army painter who wants tabletop ready miniatures fast. They simplify painting significantly. What are contrast paints? They are revolutionary paints that act as a base, shade and layer all in one application over a light undercoat. Why do you use a contrast paint? You use it to get miniatures painted quickly and efficiently without sacrificing good looking results. They are perfect for knocking out rank or file quality units quickly. Where do you apply contrast paints? Over large, highly detailed areas like scales, fur or ornate armour. They work best over light coloured primers like Citadel Colours Wraithbone or Grey Seer spray paints. Now on to how you apply contrast paints. Apply one single generous coat over the entire section, using a large brush to ensure you don't let it pull excessively on flat areas. Using the brush in the effects of gravity, guide the paints into the areas where you want the shadows to sit. And just like with your shade paint, make sure to blot away any excess pooling so it doesn't sit on any flat surfaces. Now move on to stage 5, which is layer paints. Who can use layer paints? Layer paints are used by painters looking to take their models to the next level of detail beyond a basic battle-ready standard. What are layer paints? Layer paints are more translucent than base colours and are used to build up colour and create smooth transitions and brighter highlights. Why you should use them? To enhance the colour and add depth and dimension over the base and shade work. They allow for smooth blending and gradual brightening. Where do you apply layer paints? On the raised areas and edges of the model where the light would naturally hit, leaving some of the darker base colours or shades visible in the recesses. And lastly, how do you apply these paints? Thin the paint slightly with water or a layering medium. Apply several thin coats to gradually build up the brightness, rather than one thick opaque coat. This prevents a chalky finish. Now we're on to step 6, which is varnishing. We'd recommend this to any hobbyist who actually plays games with their models, as handling them can cause the paint to rub off. Varnish is a sealer in a protective clear coat available in gloss or matte finishes. Why do you use it? To protect your hard work. It prevents the paint from chipping away during transport gaming and ensures your army looks great for years. Where do you apply it? Just like with your primer, you apply this over your entire model. Now how do you apply it? Use a spray varnish for quick, easy application or brush on for more control. A popular choice is the Testor's Dual Coat for matte finish, and just like with your primer, follow the same weather and distance precautions as priming. Now we want to step 7, which is recommended paints for basing. Who would want to use these? Painters who look to complete their miniatures and create a realistic setting for their army. What Citadel technical paints are a large range designed for specific effects, like textured earth, snow, or blood. Common choices are textured paints like Astro Granite or Martian Iron Earth. Why do you use it? A finishing base coat makes a world of difference, helping the model stand out and telling a story of where they are fighting. Where do you apply this? Exclusively on the circular or square plastic base for the model to stand on, avoiding the model's feet if possible unless you want them covered. How do you apply it? Apply the texture paint generously with an old brush or a dedicated texture tool. Push it around the base to create the desired terrain effect. Let it dry completely, which can be an hour or more. Then you can dry brush or add extra details like static grass or tufts. And there you have it. Those 7 steps will guide you from grey plastic to a fully painted, tabletop ready miniature. Remember, the best technique is one that works for you. Don't be afraid to experiment and try new things. If you found this guide helpful, please let us know in the comments down below because we'd be happy to do more. In the description you will find 2 links, the first to Mr. Nerd's channel. So if you enjoy MMOs, action RPGs, then please feel free to have a look at that. If you enjoy lore on topics like Warhammer and Tolkien, then you might want to have a look at my channel, because what I do over there on Mondays and Fridays. Anyway, that'll be it from me today. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are in the world. And as always, peace out, guys.